Yeah, thank you for the question. I would say the first one that I would mention in terms of a toolbox or a tool that you can use is do not suppress negative emotions. And when I say that, I mean for yourself as a leader and for others. I've done a lot of research about the workforce in the United States, both in sports and out of sports. And the one piece of data that I can share with you is that 60% of the US workforce is disengaged, and an additional 20% is actively sabotaging their employer. So that's 80% of the workforce that's active, that's not performing at an optimum level. And one of the reasons for that is because the person in the leadership position does not seek relentless criticism. So that would be my first advice. Seek relentless feedback and criticism, solicit criticism in order to improve the environment for your employees, for your coaches, for your players, most importantly. It builds credibility, it shows that you care, and it creates emotional investment for your players and for your staff as well. One example, there's many ways to do this, but one example is you do a very quick survey about three things: what to start, what to stop, and what to continue. And then you collect all that information from all your employees, and it should, in my opinion, open your eyes. And then you get a really you get an environment that is co-created, not one that you imposed on others. So the first tool in the toolbox is seek relentless criticism, solicit criticism, seek feedback at a consistent rate, not once a month, not once every 3 months, but almost every week, so that players and staff are actually invested in the environment that they've co-created with you. And
Yep.
then,
Yeah,
yeah.
keep going. Yeah, I love that one, but keep going.
Yeah, I would say the second toolbox, and this is a mistake that we all make, and I myself make as well. But there's a quote that I love that says, "In order to be uncompromising, be prepared to compromise." Because every decision, every endeavor is a trade-off. That's the art of persuasion. As a leader, your most important tool is persuasion. How to persuade people to do what you want. That's leadership essentially. So you have to understand that in 2026, leadership is now distributed and it's not centralized. Those days are done. The days of Sir Alex Ferguson controlling everything, having control over every part of his empire, those days are done. Now leadership is a collective effort, and the most dangerous thing you can do as a leader is is trying to enact change by yourself. That's the quickest way to lose credibility. So just be ready to compromise, be ready for trade-offs, because at the end of the day, you can't force people to do something that they don't want to do. And even if they do it, they don't do it with their hearts, which limits the quality of the work. Yeah, that would be number two. Um, yeah, number three, I would say just be authentic because, your employees, your players, they can always smell it on you. They can always tell when you're not being yourself. And if you want to lose credibility, if you want to lose trust, then that's the surest way to do it. It's even if you're unhappy with something, and this relates to the first point that I make about not suppressing negative emotions, and being authentic. And what I'm really trying to say there is don't sweep difficult conversations under the rug because players notice, staff notice, and so that's one of the hallmarks of an adaptive culture is that you have difficult conversations about difficult topics. And the second that players and staff notice that you're unable to have difficult conversations, they walk all over you.
Well, you probably saw me scribbling all those things down. Tremendous ideas. The your initial one, solicit, seek, that criticism. It's tough sometimes to have people evaluate you, and you're absolutely right. It's so critical, and I love your use of that word persuasion in the communication tool category. Very cool stuff. And absolutely, the being able to have those difficult conversations a cornerstone of strong leadership. Great stuff. Thanks so much for sharing. Hey, one more time, if one of our listeners wants to reach out, pick your brain a little bit, or connect, what's the best way that they can do that?
So my email, it's my last name, Badran, and then O as in Omar, 99 at gmail.com. And then you can also reach me on my phone number, which is 704-965-1555.
And Omar's also on LinkedIn, and follow him at all things Real Salt Lake Academy in Utah. Omar, thanks again for coming on, sharing with our listeners. All the best moving forward with your teams and your programs, and we're going to have to get you back on the podcast for an update down the road.
I'd love that. Thank you very much for the invite, Jake. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be in touch soon.
Okay. For our listeners, we appreciate you. And just a reminder that we upload the Zoom recordings of all of our interviews to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do this just about every day. We try to share stories and best practices from the world of athletics. So please come back and join us again on the next episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time.